So hi friends, how are you? I hope you are doing well. So in this video we will learn about the how to create a custom hook. As we earlier seen that there are multiple hooks are already available in the React, like as use state, use effect, use reducer, and like there are multiple hooks are already available. But in this video we will learn that how we can create a custom hook. So like first we think that why we need to create a custom hook. So in this video, like this is I just create a I just calling a API and displaying our data into a React component. So in this I am just calling the API, this API from the this is a dummy API from the JSON placeholder. So this API will display the records. So I am displaying the name from the API. So I am calling this API as we already seen that how to use the use effect hook. So if you didn't see in the video, so you can please you can check there I have already uploaded the video on the use effect hook, so you can you can look at that video also. So in this video I just calling this API, and as we know that this API providing our results. So from the results I just want to I'm just displaying the name from this API into my React component. So like use effect, and then I'm calling this use a API, and then first when the result will come, then I'm setting the result into this data. This is a use state. So when the result from this API will come, then I will get the response from the API, then set the response into this data, and then after that I am iterating, like I am just mapping, I just iterate that over the response and displaying the name that is coming from this API. So like this name is I'm displaying here. So if I need, like if there are more API, like there are to-dos API, there are movies API, there are text nominals APIs, or there are multiple API. So what I need, like if I call to another API, like I want to call the second one API like for to-dos API. So what I need to do, like I need to call the API first, and then I need to create this one also again. This is for to-dos, dos to-dos, set to-dos, set to-dos, and initially the to-dos is blank, and then when the response from this API will come, then I will set the response into this to-dos. So I use this method, a response will come, then data I will set it into this set to-dos, and then again I need to iterate over this to-dos. First we create a HR tag here, so that it will make the difference between our both API. So now instead of using data, I am using the to-dos because I want to display the data from the to-dos now. And like I need to, what thing I need to display this from this API, like I'm call this API, then I can display the title from this API. So like I can display the title here, as well as, so this is the dependency array. So if there are any changes in this to-dos, I want to call this use effect hook again. So now what I can see, that now we are getting the two different output. First is coming from the user, and second coming from the to-dos. So what happening, like if there are multiple API, there are like movies API as well, text nominal API as well. So what thing we are seeing that most of the code is like same, like the URL part is different only, but other part is same as well. So like we can create in that scenario we can create a custom hook. So that in that hook we need to pass a URL, and that URL will return if we are passing the URL, then this URL will return a user list, and if I pass the to dos, then then in that scenario we will get a to do list. So how can create this? So first we need to create a file. Like I want to use fetch and use data, we can create anything, and we can create a method using like a use fetch. So I want to create a hook like a with the name of use fetch. So I create a function use fetch, and what I am doing here, that I need to pass the URL from this like a custom hook component. I just need to pass a URL, and then I create a use state as well. So when I pass this URL from this component using the use fetch, then this URL will come into this as a parameter, and then I'm using the use state as we are using in this in this our custom hook component. So we need first we need to remove this component, and we don't want to this as well from here. So what I can I just create a use fetch method here, and in the use fetch method I am passing the URL from here. So we need to uncomment these files. So use fetch, I am already create a use fetch method here, and in this use fetch I am passing the URL for first one for to dos, first and second one for users. So if I call it for the to dos, then this URL will come into this use fetch method, and then again I am using the use state method and use effect method I am calling here, and also pass the dependency as a URL. If the URL is different, then we need to call this method again. So this URL will come into this URL as a parameter. Then I am calling the API, because now this I am getting this to dos URL from here into our user fetch. So this URL will come in this, and then once the URL will hit and get the API, then we are setting the response into the data, and we are returning data from this use fetch effect. So use fetch custom hook, this is our custom hook. So we are returning this data, and what is data now? What is the data here? So data is if are passing to dos here, so in that scenario the data is to dos list. If I passing the users here in user URL from there, so what in that scenario the user list is there, and we are returning from this use fetch hook to our custom hook high. So now what I can do, I just when I return the data from this use fetch, so this can be we can retrieve our data in this if we are calling for to dos, then we can get data in the to dos from the to dos. So now for to dos we can use to dos and iterate, and for the user we can get the data inside from use fetch to in this. So now what I can see that and I now run our code. So I think there are no any error. Use effect, I don't want to, can remove the content, and yes. So what happened, yes, so now our data are displaying in our React component. So I just so now we need to understand how we create this use instead of before we are using use state, use effect hook, but now in our custom hook component we are using the use fetch. It's not a predefined hook. We just create a hook manually. So how we create this hook? We need to pass a URL, API URL here, and you can pass your parameter as that you want according to your requirement, and then you can make your custom condition as well. You can create a requirement logic here, and then you can pass the data from like this hook, and then you are able to get the response from this huge fetch, or that you want to create a hook from in response into this parameter, that you can get the response in this, and then you can iterate, or you can like display your data into your React components. So this is the simplest way to create a custom hook. And so if you have any doubts, any issue, please comment me, so I will try to solve your issues. And please like and subscribe my channel. So thank you for watching.